Have you ever channeled the inner spirit of a dinosaur? Me either. It's Fox time, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. How are we all doing this morning? Hello, Drew. Hello, Godzilla Harris. Are we? Are we ready for style? Are we ready, chat? So, a little bit of a special plan today. Something I kind of thought of last minute. I'm going to be honest. But either gonna be amazing, or it's gonna be absolutely terrible. And it does involve you guys. Yes, for once I am doing viewer participation. It kinda sort of. You guys will see when we get to it. Something I want to say before we get into things. So yesterday you guys were having an issue regarding sending messages in the chat. As it would turn out, for some reason YouTube was glitching, and any message that was in English was like under heavy scrutiny. Even if you don't say anything bad, it's just like, nope, can't have English. Which honestly makes me a little upset because most of you guys speak English. And I want to actually see what you guys are saying. Oh. Apparently it's been fixed. Apparently they have corrected the issue. And I'm gonna hope that's the case. So yeah, that's why we were having problems yesterday. And we better not be having problems today. Because today you guys being here, the audience participation thing, I don't want that. You know, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want that to be ruined by YouTube not working as it should. What else is worth saying? But what else is worth letting you guys know? Oh. For one thing. Everyone who wasn't here yesterday. We have a finished Metroid Prime. We furnished Metroid Prime. And, Final Fantasy XVI. Aside from, Monster Hunter games, is going to take priority for a little bit. I'm not abandoning metaphor, or anything like that. Metaphor is just going to be taking a break. It will come back eventually. Main reason I am doing this is because I only have so much time in the week. So I really need to balance everything out. And also just limit how many games we are playing. That said, it's time to get stylish. Alright, for anyone who wasn't here last time. Sid, kind of, sort of, died. So now we took his mantle. As the outlaw. And also we met a really creepy guy. Hello, Dave. How's it going? We met a really creepy guy who wants to become one with us. I. Is as horrible as it sounds.
Welcome back, Sid.
So before we do any of the story.
Look, it's Sid.
Staying long this time?
This is where the audience participation begins. So every stream insofar, I have had a completely different build. Just select show off all the different combat possibilities in this game. But today I want to do something different. Instead of having a build readily made, I want your guys' help. I want you guys to help me create a brand new build to use for today. Part of this is shelling off. Another part of this is kind of like showing my general thought process when it comes to making builds in this game. Now remember everyone, style is the key here. We want to be as stylish as possible. And the best way to do that, start with our style actions. Or you know what icons we happen to be using. We can only use 3. But we have about 11 to choose from. 9 or 11, I don't remember. It's 9, okay. We have 9 styles to choose from. So this is where we're starting. And that's just with one style action, right? That's just with Phoenix. Now, the main thing with the style actions. Like me personally, I try to have like a general line of thought when it comes to what I use. So like for example, Phoenix. Pretty fast-paced. Teleports everywhere. Right. But then, you have something like Viruta. Also fairly fast-paced. But more about calling the enemy towards you. Sort of like Nero. From Devil May Cry, if you guys have played that. Wizard Santa. You guys already know this one. This one is just a mechanic from Kingdom Hearts. Titan, this is the only way we can garden this game. This is the only option we have for guarding. It's actually a fairly good guard too, if you manage to get the timing down. Bahamut. This one's weird. As soon as we press the circle button, we dodge. And every time we dodge, we build up 1 charge of Mega Flare. Also, having these wings up keeps us charging up Mega Flare. Only downside is that we cannot attack like this. But depending on how far the charge is, makes Mega Flare stronger. It's mainly ideal against like bosses. At least in my opinion. Shiva, you guys already know Shiva. X. Extremely broken style. Really good for movement, really good for keeping the enemy in place. But also really good for dodging. The window for the dodge, however, is a lot more tight than the normal dodge or Bahamut. Odin is essentially a stance change. It has its own move set. And it's basically built around doing what's essentially a judgment cut. Leviathan is the water gun. This one's kind of just silly. It's also very good for movement. And then lastly we have Ultima. This is pretty much the same as Odin. It's a stance. And that's essentially all the styles. So now it's just a matter of picking which ones we want to use. Did you guys get all of that, because it will be on the test? What should we use? If I have to give my own bias, I like using Phoenix. Purely because I just like teleporting around. Just going all over the place. But that's just my personal preference. Once we pick out our styles, we are also going to have to pick out all the different abilities we have. And of course, that really depends on what we want to go for. You know what? I've mainly shown like aggressive, offensive builds. What if we did something a little more defense? You know, more focused on punishing the boss or enemies. I guess we can use Titan for that. Come on. There's actually one combo I've been wanting to try. Ignition is an ability I don't typically use. I want to try something Okay, that works exactly how I would expect it. What if I pair that with Shiva? Okay. That actually works pretty well. Okay. How can we elevate that? Maybe with Garuda. We can try that. But we could. I'm going to also use Wicked Wheel. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, we can elevate this even more. Here's what we can do. Rising Flames. Put that on as well. Okay. Let's try that again and then see where we can go from there. Hold on, he's landing on the ground before I do that. Not exactly what we want. There we go. Okay, we need to figure out some way. Keep the air combo going. We could use rhyme. No. Where can we go after that? We could use upheaval. That's actually a pretty good one to have. I would also include... Well, I don't really need to do that. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Another sort of combo we could do. Oh, that doesn't really keep him in the air, does it? Okay, let me try. No, I need to wait for him to. A little bit closer. Okay, you get that one. You get that one, virtual mugger. This is typically how I figure out my combos. It is a lot of trial and error. Let me try something actually. Okay, that works. That works a lot better than the combo we were doing. Okay, how can we elevate that even more? Do you guys have any ideas? Maybe if I just pull it back to the ground after I use upheaval. That's the wrong button, but it works. What's something interesting we can do? We could use Rook's Gambit as another way to enable air combos. Are we just in training dummy mode right now? Yeah. But like I said, this is the audience participation moment. We're trying to make a build here. So far I've just been experimenting on my own. But part of this is like showing my thought process when making my builds. Let me show you what we have so far. Okay. That's the extent of it so far. How can we make it even better? That's the main question. We could use Thunderstorm thinking on it. Have that be like a finisher to the combo. There's a lot of different abilities here. So it's kind of hard to pick which ones we specifically want. It's something that's good to use on the ground. Maybe pile drive. A pile drive. Pile drives feels good. But we need like one more thing. Maybe wind up. Let's see how that feels. I already screwed it up. That's not what I wanted to do. This is all part of the process. That's also not what I wanted to do. Is it possible to do a build using one element only? Only fire or only lightning? Theoretically, yes. I haven't. personally tried something like that myself. But we could try it. After I finish this combo. Or you know what, I could try it right now. I'll work on this later. So any specific element you guys would want? I remember a while ago, one of you guys suggested doing like a fire and ice build. You know, let's do all fire. Only fire is your decision. We will need the other style actions. But it's more so we can use all the different abilities. Alright, let's see what we can make with this actually. Okay, so our selection is these 6 abilities. Rising of Flames is absolutely a must on Phoenix. Same with Flames of Rebirth. Ignition is going to be useful for maintaining air combos. Heat Wave is also a good way to lift up enemies. This one's for defense, and this one is doing AoE damage. Okay, this is going to take a minute. Hold on, we can master this. Remember that Heat Wave is a thing that you can use. Personally, I kind of like using Heat Wave after down thrust. The same with Scarlet Cyclone, that does feel nice. But I also feel like there's a better way to use Scarlet Cyclone. That looks so cool. Hold on, let me actually. I know I am putting the story very on hold. But I just want to see how well this would actually work against a bigger enemy. That's really good. We might be onto something here. The only downside is that we can only use Phoenix. The style action for Phoenix. Since this is a fire-only build. But it does feel really nice. Let me. Do I have accessory? Yes. They do. Reduce the cooldown for Flames of Rebirth. So that way we can use it more often. Right, we're going to test this out. In the stage that we did last time. This is sort of like my training stage. 2. To figure out if a build is good or not. You know, assuming they don't die immediately. Oh, hello Nermcat, how's it going? That could be better. Don't expect an S rank.
How many are there? Titan sends his regards.
Since this is still experimenting.
enough of this.
Okay, maybe we might actually get a good score. If we do well enough.
They brought a pet.
I think you need. $2.5 million points to get an S rank in
You'll
this.
pay for what you've done, Sid.
Either that or 3 million.
We'll have to be faster.
I actually forget how much.
Nice try.
Oh. Oh. That was our first try. Okay, wow. I actually didn't think we would. We would get a good rating for that. Huh. Hey Nightlife, how's it going? You didn't know the damage count could go into rainbow colors. Yeah. That's the power of arcade mode. This might be the build that we actually use for today. That was a good idea, Drew. Is actually a really solid idea.
Look, it's Sid.
That is so strong. What build is it? Is pure fire. It is all of the fire skills in the game. Plus, a little bit of assistance from accessories. Like this is actually pretty good. No need to thank me. You're just throwing stuff at the wall and hoping it sticks. Yeah, this definitely sticks. This actually works really well. Okay, now that we have spent almost an hour working on what build we're doing, let's actually progress the
There
story.
you are, Clive. Word of your adventures arrived this morning. Victor sent his thanks.
I doubt Kupka will miss the fools he sent to catch me.
I'm an idiot.
Not a single one of the
I'm an
bearers we
idiot.
saved showed any interest
I
in coming
spilled my
with us.
water.
No one seems keen to join hands with an outlaw. Any news while we were away?
None worth mentioning.
Crap.
Gav's still off
No,
keeping an eye
it's on
the
my-
Republican army.
It's on my mouse pad now. Hold on, I'll be right back. Yeah, I am an idiot sandwich. Thankfully none of it got in my controller. Hey, you guys want to read while I'm cleaning things up? There you go, here's some reading for you. Would you miss? I spilled water like an idiot. And now I'm cleaning it up. Okay. Okay. It's clean there. For good. Everything has been saved. Now I'm going to take a sip of my water and not be stupid.
Should be back any day now.
Understood. If anyone needs me, I'll be in the map room.
Oh hey, Dennis, how's it going?
Still can't work that one out. There must be better places than the hull of a gutted airship to bury your nose.
He loved how the model was at the bottom of
Yeah,
the
this is
screen,
where she's chosen
almost
to
like I
be.
was hiding an embarrassment.
And I'm sure she has her
I mean,
reasons.
I kind of was. I don't know how to change that. Like okay. This being further away from my camera, right? Is me being as close as possible. Hello. I don't know how to prevent that. I never figured it out. Anyway, Vivian, hello. I totally know who you are.
Trust I'm not intruding.
Back from your mission? I'm beginning to think...
Sorry. I know I want to pay attention to the story. But you guys want to see something cool. I have it set up to where you can appear at any time. Look at him, he's still sleepy. I love this thing, I love it so much. I hate it because he's on my head and forever sleeping, but I love it. Yeah, know about cool, but it is adorable. Hey. Hey, you respect him. Respect the sleepy boy.
Your habit of surviving cannot be attributed to luck alone.
One might say the same of you, Vivian Ninetails.
I'll have you know that only 4 attempts have been made on my life, and none was especially memorable. So, to what do I owe the honor? Could it be that you've come for one of my lessons?
Is that so hard to believe?
Very well then. Shall we start with the state of the realm? To absolutely no one's surprise, she finds herself at the mercy of armies and outlaws. Well, mostly armies. Though that's not for want of trying, is it, Clive? But the real question is, how did we get here?
That's actually not her family name. It is kind of like a nickname.
Dominion over northeastern storm has endured. Recent days have seen the blight wrest ever more land from her grasp. For which reason she has continued to wage war on her rival across the strait, hoping to claim less blackened pastures. But Odin would sooner pawn his sword than Waloed relinquish Ash. And the Empire pays dearly for every blade of grass bent beneath Sambraquois boots. Little wonder then that Sylvester set his sights on the crystalline Dominion, an altogether easier target, possessed of no less ether. It was 5 years ago, while you were busying yourself with the destruction of Drake's head, that the Empire made its move, subjugating its theretofore neutral neighbor. A nation which could legitimately claim to be the center of the world. Certainly, there is no better place to stage an army. From there, the Holy Empire's reach spans the Twins. The non-aggression treaty was the only thing keeping them in check. But if they truly broke the pact without provocation, it is only a matter of time before others reply in kind. The Holy Empire, the Dhalmekian Republic, the Kingdom of Waloed, and of course, our friends in Yaran. Who will be left standing, I wonder, when the last drop of blood is spilled?
You were born in Twinside.
Certainly just after the time skip, yes.
Oh, dark clouds are wont to gather over the Dominion. Yet in spite of it all, she has ever endured. And when the storm has passed, I am confident she will remain. Now, as to the matter of payment for today's lesson, complete a simple errand for me and we shall consider ourselves even.
Even? Right.
Oh, hello, Ruka.
Return this volume to old
How's it
tomes on
going?
the shelves. Tell him it was adequate.
I suppose it wouldn't hurt to visit our resident historian.
Okay, I want to show a really cool feature in this game. I think they later used in the remake of Final Fantasy
favorite
Tactics.
Pupil. Allow me to educate you. Here's the latest information I have.
They have a massive affinity chart for the game. Because I've already gone through the story and done all the DLC, I can like fast forward to different parts in the affinity chart. But what's cool about this? Not the fact that it exists. You gonna have every character's thoughts. This is what the good boy thinks of everyone. It's so unique, it really is. I kind of wish more games had things like this. I wish more games in general had like proper in-game information. Encyclopedia type things. Like what? What Tomes does. You know. No. We can also see the thoughts of Hugo. The jerk. Of course, we also have this whole feature. Showing like the current series of events in the entire world. It sounds like those papers that used to come in CD cases for games. You know what it does. It's actually really funny that you mentioned that. Does chat know about Dion? Yes, yet of course everyone knows about Dion and he's the best. Yeah, don't worry, we saw him several streams ago. It's funny you mentioned that Nerm kit. Because I was lucky enough to wear all the games that I played as a kid. Still had the manuals with them. So when I was like playing through the Sly Cooper games, for example, I remember I would flip through the manuals for each of them. Is back then, when those games came out. And just like games in general, the manual and the actual game itself were intertwined. Like having the manual on hand was kind of like paramount to the experience back then. There is a part of me that kind of feels like there's something lost when you don't have things like that. But I also feel like Final Fantasy XVI, and by extension, Final Fantasy Tactics, I feel like they kind of remedy that. It was like your walkthrough guide in case you got stuck. Yeah, exactly. And like in case you ever forgot how something works, you can just reference the manual. And it would be like, ah yes, this thingy. This is how you do this. Or like if you forget a character. If you ever forget a character, you can just like walk at the manual. And it would like refresh your memory on it. Like a good video game manual has to have character profiles, right? That's something we all agree on. Speaking of character profiles, and this is something I barely showed in this game that I also think is really cool. At any point. During cutscenes. If they mention something that you don't even remember, you can pause and bring up everything that is important to the current cutscene. Like if you forgot who this guy was, or where we are.
Now that is a name I have not heard for a long time. So long, in fact, I had half forgotten it was mine. Welcome home, Clive. You were missed, as always.
I believe this belongs to you. Vivian asked me to return it.
Ready? Our resident scholar devours books faster than young Tet does lemon tarts. Would that I could do the same. But alas, I no longer possess the necessary constitution for such indulgence, either in words or tarts. That said, I have continued my search for mention of the creature you encountered at Drake's Head. But without access to the great libraries of Oriflamme or the Dominion, I regret that I have been able to find little and less. I am sorry.
Please, don't apologize. I'll send word to our associates, see if they can't furnish you with more books.
I fear it is not more books that I require, but the right ones. Mayhap we look in the wrong places. There are still libraries to the north.
I'll see what I can do.
You are too kind. There are not many in this world who would indulge the whims of a tired old historian.
Not too tired to go filching Kupo nuts, though. Always got a pocket for him. Nicks him off the Moogle.
Hush now. We all know there's no such thing as Moogles.
The twins seem well.
There's one hanging out here, though.
Yet they laugh far too little for one so young. The loss of their parents weighs heavy on them, however well they hide it. Titan took much from us that night, from some more than others, and the wounds that remain, they are not quick to heal.
Which is why we must give them all the time they need.
That we must. Just as I must give you the time you need to recuperate. Good day, Clive.
Good day. Gav will be back soon. I should get some rest while I can.
This dude is the best he is. I love him so much. And yeah, he is absolutely like the definition of a scholar. He has so many books too. Like they're stacked all over the place. I don't know how well you guys can see this, because the capture display and, what I see is different. But there are just so many books here. I actually never saw that before. But yet for anyone who wasn't here when I first showed this off. He's also the teacher for the school children too. That makes sense. This is the in-game wiki. It gets updated as you go through the game and complete side quests and such. But if you ever forget anything, you can always refer to this. And I just wish more games had things like this. Just a comprehensive one like. Literally don't need the internet unless you want to cheat on a quest. It's true. Just like one spot where all the information in the game is
The
capped.
the shelves shall ever be open.
I am so glad that Final Fantasy Tactics also has it.
Not back a blink and you're
I needed to
already off
continue
solving
playing Final
everyone's
Fantasy
problems.
Tactics.
It looks good, Clive. Goes well with the scowl.
I'd had that brand for so long. I'd forgotten what life was like without it. What it was like to be myself. And it's all thanks to you, Talia.
The scalpel did most of the work. Ah, before I forget, a rider was here with a letter from Gav. Otto left it on your desk.
Not a stolus. All right, I'll have a look.
And then you get some rest.
What could Gav
Axe
thought
realized I
of the
completely
letter?
forgot to point it out. And I'm foolish for not pointing it out. His brand is gone. Let me actually. Since I was talking about the in-game wiki before. Let me see if I can find it.
Is there something I might assist you with, Clive?
Remember when I told you guys that the flower the Emperor was sniffing was poisonous? Is it in here? Hold on, I can just find something that is related to it. Here it is. Okay. The mark applied to the cheeks of bearers, identifying them as something other than human. Great nations of the world have a long-standing accord to brand their bears in this way, that the slaves might be traded across borders. The mark applied to the cheeks of bears. Where is the information about? The painstaking process of slicing away the bear's brand, so that no marks remain. Let's see. That still entails a good deal of pain and risk. Indeed, the brand is written in poison ink that any attempt to remove it should result in death. No, it is not hot iron. It is poison ink. As it's saying. If you try to remove it, it will probably kill you. Given this, many choose to forego the process even though their brand precludes them from ever leaving the hideaway. Search the flower, yeah. Keyword. It comes from the ink. For here it is. The elegant white flower that is the holy symbol. That is a symbol of the Holy Empire. What roots is distilled? The dye with which the bearer brand is inscribed. The dye is highly poisonous when it enters the bloodstream. And so it is not uncommon for bears to lose their lives, either upon receiving their brand, or during an inexpert attempt to remove it. Again, this is the flower that the Emperor was sniffing. It's the roots that are poisonous, I think. But I would personally consider the entire thing poisonous. This is all really cool though. This is a really cool way to like search for whatever you need, and there is just like so much stuff here. There is just so much information to read in this game. Maybe we should learn about Angry Mango. Angry Mango is in this game.
The door to the shelves shall ever be open.
Yet YouTube has been eating comments lately and I don't know why.
Once the hall's swept, it's over to the Tub and Crown for me.
Still smitten with the serving girl, are you? She's a fair one.
That's a meatball gone bad. No, it's an angry mango. The Republican army marches on the Empire at Twinside. And the men of the Rock have been summoned to the front. Something big is brewing, I reckon. Oh yeah. Yesterday. It was awful. Yesterday when we were playing Metroid Prime. It was generally awful. Like it kept eating everyone's messages. I don't know what to do about it. Honestly, I don't know if I can do anything about it.
What does Gav have to say?
The Republican army is on the march, leaving Randalar in Hugo Kupka's charge. With him and his men occupied with the defense of the capital, they're less likely to trouble us.
Good news, then.
It's more than that. This is our chance, the one we've been waiting for.
But look how far we've come. All that we have here, our friends, the hideaway, are they not cause for joy?
5 years. 5 long years. If I could only command this power I've been granted, we might have achieved so much more. But each time I reach for it, it's like something is holding me back.
Summoning an icon exacts a price not easily paid. Your body knows this only too well. It's merely trying to save you from yourself.
And every burden I cannot bear falls to you.
This mission of ours has made me question everything I thought I knew. But one thing has become abundantly clear. The crystals take more than they give. In exchange for momentary comfort, we must endure a lifetime of pain, war after war, loss upon loss. And now they rob us of our very homes, leaving naught but dust and ash. But you're trying to change that. We're trying to change that. And to me, that's no burden.
I know, but...
Try not to forget. We're only here because Joshua gave us a second chance. It would be a pity to waste such a precious gift.
He did. He was there. It wasn't an illusion. I heard him call out to Ultima. If Joshua is still alive, he'll be looking for that thing.
Do you think he will ever come back?
I know he will. And we must be ready when he does. To a world without mother crystals.
You love Jill. Jill is very, very supportive.
To Sid.
Genuinely. Genuinely, this might be one of my favorite Final Fantasy romances. Purely because of how supportive they are of each other.
And so the North is lost.
I knew that the Blight spread ever more swiftly, Your Grace. But this is far, far worse than any could have imagined.
It is only a matter of time before the twins are no more.
Not sure how you feel about the DLC costumes.
Ever closer to its
I like the one for Jill.
Chase shadows.
Now. That's really it.
Are our efforts in vain?
Master Clive, a moment, if you... my apologies, I didn't mean to... intrude.
Not at all. We were just discussing strategy.
Speak freely, Otto.
It's Martha, from the inn. She's gone missing. Anyway, I'll be in the mess when you've finished.
Very well.
Oh my god, he kind of does look like Roxas, doesn't he? I can't unsee that now.
What would make Martha leave the rest?
Wait. Well, hey, does this mean Joshua's a nobody? Oh no. Square can never get away from him. I wonder who's actually the most popular Square Enix character. I'm genuinely curious now. Well, that reminds me. And fast travel. No, I can't. Cloud Strife. Maybe, I don't know. The one with the cool hair. Do you have any idea how little that narrows it down?
What do we know, Otto?
Some lads from the Imperial garrison in Rosaria started a fight over at Martha's Rest. Blood was spilled, bones were broken. The usual. But somewhere in the middle of it all, Martha vanished without a word to anyone. And that ain't like her, Clive. Something's not right.
You think this was planned?
Of course it bloody was. Ever since Eastpool, the Empire's been tightening its grip, ran the duchy's balls. They've strung up everyone who's ever set eyes on a runaway.
You can't say that this is YouTube.
Traitors to the Holy Throne, conspiring to restore the House of Rosfield to power. I know it sounds like the bastards have turned their attentions to the pallbearers meek enough to stay put. Naturally, old Martha could see the way the wind was blowing. Complained that it was getting harder and harder to take bearers in.
And now she's missing. If she's fallen into the hands of the Empire, we could be next.
Couple of curse breakers are already on their way to the inn. They should help speed up the search. But if this is as bad as I think it is, you might end up having to save their asses and all.
Don't worry, Otto. I'll make sure everyone gets home safe.
Quest. There's quest. Oh. I don't really want to do that one. I would imagine Clive is up there. I mean, personally speaking. Clive might be my favorite Final Fantasy protagonist. And that's like, despite me loving Final Fantasy X, right?
Damn blighted bilge.
Is everything all right?
Aside from the holes in my hull, everything's roses.
The lake water doesn't agree with it, then?
That's one way of putting it. And unless you got some grand scheme to suck the black from the lake like we do in the atrium, that slurry will keep eating away at the timber like young Tech does our lemon tarts. Suppose a coat of pitch might stave off the rot for a moon or so, assuming we had any pitch, which we don't. Not any bloody more. Doubt the old tub's got more than a dozen runs left in him.
Of course, Obolus. Your skiff is our only means of reaching the mainland.
Yeah, John, Final Fantasy is up there for me too.
Well, I'm glad someone round here
I think what
sees
helps
it
me
that
like
way.
John Final
To
Fantasy.
make pitch, you
It's the
need
FA.
pitch trees.
Act like he's kind of just a
In case you
guy,
haven't
you know.
noticed, live
The fact that
trees
he's kind
are
of
one
just
the
a guy.
1,000 things sorely lacking in the Deadlands. Now, I'm
He's
not
a guy
so
that was like
kind
forced
as
into a
to ask you to
fantastical
fell
adventure.
far away forest and lug the logs back here to the mere, which is why we'll be needing a suitable alternative. And it just so happens I once heard the thorny pitchers of Curltail Falls cover themselves in a sticky wax to trap birds and beetles and whatnot. Might be enough to tide me over.
Sounds easier than felling a faraway forest. That's for certain.
Oh yeah, actually forgot to mention, there's a new resource that comes with doing the side quests now. Oh no, you're absolutely right, Drew. You're absolutely right there. But extremely foggy. The only special thing about John is that he's an athlete for a long-dead team. Well, when you put it that way. Yeah, Clive is, absolutely. A breath of fresh air. He's very different. Compared to a lot of Final Fantasy characters. Excuse me one moment. Now that's how you end a fight. Oh my god. Just kick him. Just kick them into oblivion.
I can't imagine Obelisk needing any more than this. Time to head home.
Well, did you find me some wax?
Find is one way of putting it.
Your favorite thing about Final Fantasy XVI is that it's kind of returned to traditional good and evil. Kinda, yeah.
Reeks like a chocobo's arse. I don't suppose the Argo will mind as long as he stays above the waves.
Argo? So your boat has a name? I didn't know.
Yeah. Same as me old man. He was a ferryman himself back before the Blight came. The boat's all I have left of him. And thanks to you, he'll sail another day.
I feel like, with Final Fantasy XVI, it is very much a good versus evil story. But like, put it. The good that we're doing. Use, I suppose, questionable.
I seen schoolboys swing harder.
But that's more to the world at large.
Finish with that log so we can...
Yeah, I do get that. I think it's more accurate to say that Clive is an anti-hero of sorts. Because he's very much going against what is acceptable in the world. Does that make sense to you guys? That he's an anti-hero in the sense that, well, he's not necessarily like
Come on. We need to find the others.
following any laws, and he's doing things that the world hates him for.
If they hurt Martha, they'll have the old rest to
You can't say that this is YouTube.
Founder, let's get you to a physical.
Sid? What said you'd be coming?
I trust you don't mind. Also thought you might need some help. And it appears he was right.
Yeah, it does absolutely hit strong themes.
They're saying the Imperials descended like a storm. No one was spared their fury. Martha tried to step in and calm things down, but all our efforts got her were a pair of iron shackles and a hard march.
Any idea where?
Judging by their tracks, they headed towards Sorrowwise Bay.
To the Abbey sheltering Martha's bearers.
The bastards. Jill and I will go after them. You take care of the people here.
We will. But, before you go, one of the locals heard something. He said the soldiers were talking about a culling. I don't know how big this is, but it doesn't sound good. Be careful out there, Sid.
You do the same.
You're a big fan of having an adult cast.
Cole is right.
And you'll like that's geared towards an older audience. I do think it really helps.
Bearers are the property of the Empire.
Ground everything, if that makes
The
sense.
authority to act alone. The orders would have had to have come from higher up.
Like, yeah, we start off playing as young Clive. But having an actual, like, proper adult. Not saying like John, Final Fantasy isn't an adult. But having a proper one really does elevate the story that I want to tell. I think he's 33. Right now. Hold on, let me just... Okay, genuine question. Clive versus the man's swords only, who wins? I think the man has superior swordplay. So I would actually have to give it to the man. But if they were both allowed to use their full kits,
Look,
I would say Clive would win. So yeah, just swords only. I would absolutely have to give it to the man.
Martha, are you hurt?
Don't worry about me. It's them at the Abbey who need you. You have to do something.
Tell us what happened.
What happened? The damn Black Shields, that's what happened.
The Black Shields?
The bastards caught wind. The Abbot and I were helping bearers. They were gonna hang us both. When the sick rose from their beds, poor souls turned on the Imperials. Distracted them long enough for me to get away.
Then they may still be alive. Martha, do you think you can make it back to the inn? Cole is there with the other curse breakers.
I think so. Thank you, Clive.
Black Shields. Is this some sort of twisted joke? There has only ever
Okay.
been one order of shields in
So
Rosaria.
genuine question for you
They
guys.
fought to defend all her citizens.
Would you like it if Final Fantasy continued like building on top of what 16 does? Up. Nope, we don't want to use that. This is a fire-only build. We're not allowed to use anything not fire-related. Bird. Big bird. You absolutely would. Want them to continue with what 16 built. I see. I see a good chunk of people saying that they want build off of 16 how. Okay, dumb example that I thought of. Like forever ago, but imagine having a game like this. But also kind of works like, if you're familiar with this game, Zenly Zone Zero. Where? Yeah, it's an action game. And, you know, have it play similarly to Final Fantasy XVI, but you can switch between all of the party members. That's one way you could build off of what 16 does. But that aside, like a good chunk of people and, you know, saying that they want a turn-based Final Fantasy again. And I can understand that. I wouldn't mind it myself, because I frankly enjoy both. I guess both takes of Final Fantasy. Like whatever they do next, I'll probably be on board. Like I like turn-based, I like action. I'm not a big fan of OK. Slight confession. I'm not a huge fan of the combat in the 7 remake games. But that's just me. No, don't do that. This is fire only. You enjoy both types of gameplay, but at the same time you feel like people are saying that because of Expedition 33. Can I rant about something? Okay, I like Expedition 33, right? I genuinely think it is a very good game. I don't like how people treat it. I don't mean I don't like people criticizing the game. I don't like what I'm saying is I don't like how people use it to attack other things. Because to me, that brings down the value of Expedition 33. And brings down the value of whatever you're attacking. Like imagine me. Imagine me going up to someone who's playing Devil May Cry 5. Mind you, I love that game. I love Devil May Cry. Don't get any weird meaning from this. Imagine I go up to someone who's playing Devil May Cry 5. And I go, oh, that game sucks. Final Fantasy XVI is so much better. Or man, if only Devil May Cry could be like Final Fantasy XVI. What I'm kind of doing there is I'm hyping up the thing I like by putting down something else. And that, in my opinion, brings down the value of what I'm hyping up. Because I'm essentially only saying that it's only good because something else is worse. Does that make sense to you guys? That's why I don't really like how some people treat Expedition 33. I don't like them using it to attack Final Fantasy, for example. Because people have been doing that. I really don't like that. Because not only are you taking value away from Expedition 33, you're also making people not really like it. You're not trying to attack. For anyone who's like watching a clip or whatever, I'm just reading off of chat. Not trying to attack anything with Expedition 33. But you're saying that you feel people put it on such a high pedestal for mediocre stuff. Okay. I love Expedition 33 because I think it is an incredibly well-crafted game. The way everything connects. As a video game, I think is very solid. I am at no point comparing that to the Final Fantasy. I think Expedition 33 deserves to stand on its own merits. Not because it does anything better than the other thing, but on its own two legs. I think it stands very well. Even games built on a similar foundation should strive to be different and unique in their own way. Exactly. That's part of why I think turn-based. That they do a lot of things with turn-based. You think it's a genuinely good title, but the only thing you can really give it to is the music. Yeah, that's fair. I think that's fair. The music in that game is stellar. But if you're not feeling the gameplay, or anything else, that's fine. Turn-based combat. Just using that as an example. It has so many variations. Metaphor, for example, uses the SMT press turn system. And that's a very good system for several reasons. Majority of Final Fantasy games use the ATB system. I personally don't like the ATB system that much. But I can understand why someone would. It's a real time. That I think does have its place. And I like what Expedition 33 does, where you have to react to enemy actions. It's sort of like Paper Mario or the Mario and Luigi games. It's sort of like that. I think all of these things have their places. Not whether or not Final Fantasy continues with, you know, full action. Or if it goes back to turn-based. That's entirely up to Square Enix. I personally am fine with either. I'm cool with either way they take it. But I'm not going to pretend like there was a sudden shift to action combat. The last turn-based mainline Final Fantasy game. Excluding sequels. So, you know, ignoring Final Fantasy X-2 and Final Fantasy XIII-2. The last turn-based Final Fantasy game was Final Fantasy XIII. From my memory, it's been a long time since I played Final Fantasy XIII. So I don't really remember. And that was, for you guys, over 10 years ago. Over 15 years ago. It came out on iOS. Wait, what? Excuse me. You can get it on your phone. Huh. It is Google lying to me. I think it is. You think the trails through daybreak? I can read, I swear. No, I'm not sure. I'm not really sure of anything. The way the Trails Through Daybreak does combat is likely how Final Fantasy will go. The system is an action-based system that can change into turn-based combat with the push of a button. I can see that. Yeah, I can absolutely see that. Now, in regards to Final Fantasy XVI. This might be controversial. Feel like a lot of people don't actually understand this game. I feel like a lot of people try to play this like Final Fantasy XIV. Or a hack and slash game like Dynasty Warriors. I know and now I'm really halting the gameplay for this. It's something that's been on my mind for a long time and okay, I know I've gone on the rant before. But this is how I see some people play this game, right? That's not interesting, right? That's how I see a lot of people play it. Last he checked, when everyone was playing it, everyone couldn't stop comparing it to Devil May Cry. That's not an unfair comparison. They are in a similar niche. But I would say Final Fantasy XVI is easier to get good at than Devil May Cry.
There might still be someone inside.
He only seen one review of it complaining it has too many cutscenes, then kind of just turned the other way. It was really only me who got you interested in the first place. I'm actually glad I've been able to do that. And I'm going to sound full of myself here. But I'm glad that I'm showing off. Because I want people to see the potential this game has. I want people to see how I play the game. And get inspired to try the game again. Or try different interesting things. Because there actually is a lot of depth in the combat. You just need to move past the surface.
No.
Is Groot US still overpowered? I don't know, I don't actually use Gerudo much. I did learn some tech though.
Murderers. They drove the bearers to this.
Wait. These two aren't turned.
That bitch of an innkeeper must have sent them. Colluding with the enemies of the Empire is a serious offense.
And for their crimes shall they be punished. Such is the law. To dwell in darkness that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn. On these our swords we swear.
How dare you speak those words? Have you no honor?
Clive.
This won't take long.
Hey, let me show these guys how angry Clive is now. I know the bitrate is probably dying right now. But so are they. If we're being real, Clive acts more of a king than any of the other royalties aside from his father. Yeah. This is why we love him.
Is that all of them?
I think so. I didn't see the abbot. He may still be alive.
Found her.
The abbot.
The bearers died protecting him. Calling upon what little magic they had left in their bodies.
Clive. He's breathing.
We're friends of Martha. We're here to help.
Are the Imperials dead?
They are. Every last one.
If only that were true. The Black Shields will return. The cullings will continue. Rosaria will never be saved unless we save her. Tell Matt to beg his aid and tell her this wasn't her fault.
I shall.
Sid! Where are you? Sid!
In here! We found a survivor!
Clive. He's gone.
We've laid the abbot to rest. But the bearers... they didn't need to die like this.
No, they didn't. But it was their choice. They knew the fate that awaited them and chose to meet it on their terms, fighting for those who fought for them.
Martha said they rose from their beds, threw themselves at the Imperials so she and the abbot could escape.
I've gathered the bearers' remains. We should consign them to the tide.
There's a drawbridge not far from here. Radix jump. The currents there are swift. If the abbot was still with us, he'd have taken the dust there himself and performed the casting. I'll get someone to...
I'll do it.
Of course. Cole and I will remain here and see to the Imperials.
Jill acts more like queen than any other royal in the game, too. Despite being 1 a commoner and 2 a prisoner of war. She's our queen, okay. Yeah, we'll do the DLC as well. I don't know when. But we will do them. See if I remember how to get there. Takano continue the conversation from 4 o'clock. Final Fantasy hasn't been turn-based for a long time. And I don't. I personally don't understand why. People start acting like it was a sudden shift from Final Fantasy XVI. That is a good point. Nightlife. I just hope we don't suffer. Oh. It's Angry Mango.
Do you think it's spotted us, torgal? What am I saying? Of course it has. There's a floating eyeball.
One main thing about this game is that I'm still learning. Like despite everything you guys are seeing right now, I'm still learning. Various different things you can do on this game.
Too slow.
Okay. This is an interesting fight. He's actually an interesting way to show off. How? You do have a lot of gap closing options. Also, hello Super Dave, how's it going? One of the highest skill ceilings in action game in your opinion. I would say Devil May Cry is a little bit higher. But you do have a lot more tools in this game in comparison. Also love that Will-o'-the-Wisps parry for no good reason. Do they? And never actually noticed.
That must be the bridge.
They just did in the fight.
Waters cleanse thee of thy burden,
Huh.
and bear it out to sea.
You see. I'm still learning things.
And now they are truly free.
I have played this game for over 300 hours and I am still learning things that you can do in this game.
A pyre was made. It's more than they deserve. We should go back. Cole is worried about Martha.
All right.
You saw it pop up in the combo thing. Okay, that's fair.
No one survived then?
I'm sorry. Before he passed, one of them bade me tell you not to blame yourself.
Doesn't mean I won't. Doesn't mean their blood's not on my hands. Cole said you cast their remains. That was good of you. But it should have been me. This was all my fault.
How? You couldn't have known.
But I did. And I turned a deaf ear to the warnings like the fool I am. The rumors started moons ago. Of black-clad devils descending on villages in the dead of night to slit the throats of sleeping bearers. But I assumed it was all just nonsense concocted by the Empire. Nothing but a ghost story meant to make folk think twice about lending a hand to a fugitive bearer.
And in ordinary times you would have been right. What these Black Shields are doing is unthinkable. Which begs the question, why do it at all? My mother obviously has a hand in this. I cannot make sense of her actions.
And picking what goes on in that woman's head is a job for
Mom
someone
is
with
just
more time
evil.
on their hands. Right now, I need swords and men to wield them, preferably big ones. If those Imperials think they can come in here again and threaten my people,
Geruda has a
they're in
skill
for
that summons a
rude
tornado
awakening.
that does a ton of stagger damage.
Oh, before I forget.
Oh yeah, I do know about
Otto
that.
landed
I've just
before
never
you
really
arrived.
found a use for it.
He asked me to tell you that Gav has
Wait,
returned.
it tracks.
Then we must as well. Will you be all right here, Martha?
We can stay longer if you wish.
No need.
What?
I'll be ready should the Imperials come calling. Though I wouldn't turn my nose up if you were to lend me a pair of them strapping young curse breakers.
Still learning. Still learning. God, imagine using that against the what's-his-name. The night boss from the DLC. That creates all the different weapons. That would be so broken.
We're best off staying where we are for now, I reckon.
Okay, so I want to continue what I was saying before. Also, to answer your question, Anthony. I didn't finish that video. I watched a little bit of it. For anyone who's wondering. There is a really good video. Made by a Japanese player. Who, went into a real deep dive into how Final Fantasy XVI works. One of those things was something I was actually kind of showing off.
We're not to move.
The fact that using limit break actually works as a gap closer. And it might actually be one of the better uses of it.
Oi, you there! Don't just pass me by!
You know what? I'm going to link it to you guys. Let me see if I can find it and I'll link it in the chat. So that way, after the stream, you guys can watch that. It's really eye-opening it. Absolutely. Okay. Before I saw that video, I never considered using limit break as a gap closer.
Oi, you there! Don't just
That's a good shout. That's a good point, Drew. Let me see if I can find it. Let me pause the game so you don't have to hear that guy being annoying. I don't want Final Fantasy VII. Okay, it's not coming up from basic search. There's what I get for not liking the video. Actual live feed of the current map. The check on watch history. Nope, never mind. We're saved. We have been saved. I'm going to pin it in the chat as well. You know, I've actually thought about making a combat guide of my own. Nothing like super in-depth, but kind of going over some of the more intermediate things, I suppose. Just select get people started. On how to really make the most of the game. I wouldn't consider myself the best when it comes to playing this game. There are people who are way better at it than me. But I try my best.
You handy with that sword of yours? Course you are. Bet you're a bloody marvel with the thing. Now, question is, are you willing to use it or not? 'Cause a flock of noble chocobos are in need of help.
Chocobos?
You heard me right. Wild birds? Hmm? The big ones? And not just any chocobos at that. Whiteheart and her flock are the bravest birds you ever did see. They protect travellers round these parts from bandits and the like.
Chocobos? Fighting bandits?
It's true. Why, they saved me from a gang of footpads only yesterday. Nasty lot they were too. And now, they're back, looking to settle the score. Oh, go on then. Don't just stand there. Go and help them.
All right.
Yeah, it's this quest.
Where can I find these chocobos?
I saw him cut across the way over yonder. The rotten scoundrels were driving the poor things towards the old dock. It's a dead end, that is. You save Whiteheart and her flock, you hear me? There ain't a pluckier bird in all the world. She's a hero to us locals. And don't worry, you'll know her when you see her right enough.
I'm sure I will.
And good luck to you. And give those no-good bastards a hiding from me.
I just realized, didn't we help this guy before? Like 5 years ago. Bird time. Hold on. We have to use bird. Is the bird quest, so we need to use bird. Actually, I kind of want that. I'm just gonna master all of them. Wish she was kind of like best boy though. Yeah. But we can't have everything.
Whiteheart. That's quite a name for a chocobo. A white feather.
Aerial blast is the one that summons the tornado. We're going to see how good it is.
Speaking of brave birds. Looks like they went that way.
Hello, lobsters. Would you care to be my test subjects? Oh no, don't want to do that. This is bird. This is bird hours. We have to bird. You can tell I don't really bird that much. Just pull them into the tornado, it's fine. I forgot to change my accessories. I just realized that. Where is it? Okay, reduce the cooldown. Kind of want to see how well the tornado does on its own. As it is a good test subject. And slowly moving towards them. Yet, one complaint. I've seen a lot regarding this game is the fact that there's the ability cooldowns. But there is a secret. There is a secret about that. Not a lot of people know this, but there actually is a way to speed up the ability cooldown without using any accessories. Do you guys know what that way is? Oh, it does track. Thank you, sir. Doesn't mastery also speed it up? No, mastery only makes it so. You can put it on other styles. Now what actually speeds it up is parrying. There is already an in-game built-in way to circumvent the ability cooldowns. And it's by playing well. Quickly use this information to parry cancel to victory. Unfortunately, it doesn't work for every attack. I forget the exact conditions.
We got you cornered, Feathers. You didn't think you'd seen the last of us, did you? You've been bad for business. But I reckon someone will pay good coin to mount your head on their wall.
Not around here, they won't.
Oh. And why's that?
Hello, sir. Would you like to become my test dummy?
In these parts. You hurt her, and I hurt you.
Piss off. Or better still, how about we hurt you both?
All right then. But don't say I didn't warn you.
Yeah.
Okay. Come on, try and hit me. I timed that poorly. I'm still learning the parry timing. Say. Cooldown is much faster. See that? Speeding up the cooldown was always an option in the game. Yeah, it also slows down time. We can't forget that. Oh, hello, Huntsman. Parrying is a lot easier against bosses. That is normal enemies. It's also a lot easier to do when you're in limit break. But yeah, parrying is the, I would say, cornerstone of getting good at this game. Does the dodge also speed up the cooldowns? Not innately, no. But I have an accessory equipped that makes it the case. Only thing with parrying is that it is high risk, high reward. You are likely going to get hit when you parry. But it is worth it. Alright, how about a tornado, sir? I keep doing that. It's like an instinct. Now watch this. That is also a type of parry.
You're safe now. White Heart, I presume. Do you know her, boy? That scar. It couldn't be.
Is this considered bird-on-bird violence? Maybe.
You. You survived. And you found yourself a flock.
Oi! Is it over? come and see how you were getting on. Oh, you sorted the bastards then. I knew you would. And the whole flock made it through unscathed.
Thankfully they did. And not only that.
Well, I'll be. I never stopped to think our hero here might once have been someone's mount. Though I dare say she'd suit a fine fellow like yourself. Reckon our feathered friend must have learned a thing or two from her master. Kind-hearted warrior that you are. Bird like her would have cost a princely sum. You born a lord or something?
Well,
Yes,
Oh, no,
actually.
Sorry, I didn't mean to pry. Don't matter who you are. You done right by me.
What is it, girl?
She wants her master back, I reckon. Told you. And it seems her pals agree.
Is that it? You want to come with me?
Well, bugger me if this ain't a heartwarming sight. The lads down the stables will be hearing about this tonight. Oh, stay right where you are.
Look at her. She's dressed up now. And she has a fashionable eye patch.
Doesn't she cut an handsome figure, eh?
She does indeed. How much do I owe you?
Ah, a few scraps of leather's the very least I owe old Whiteheart. Oh, I'll be sad to see her go, of course. But she's earned her right to happiness and more besides. Don't you worry, we'll get along just fine without her. You hear that, Whiteheart? You've earned yourself some time off. You have fun traveling with your master now. You seem awful familiar now I get a proper look at you. That's it. When those chocobos swarmed my car on the road, didn't you? No, that can't be right. That fellow was a bearer.
Must have been my double.
Oh, must have been, eh? Oh, that'll be the excitement getting to me. Silly sod that I am. Pay me no mind. Anyhow, best be on my way. Good luck to the both of you.
You take care of your flock for now. I'll call you when I need you.
I've never seen that line before. I think you only get that line if you do the quest. In, 5 years prior. That is so interesting. But now we have Bird. This might just be the best video game ever made. You do like the language they use here, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think this sort of way of speaking started with PSP version of Final Fantasy Tactics. It's mainly used in Final Fantasy XIV. And of course, yeah, Final Fantasy XVI uses it. I actually really like it. And if we have more medieval or proper fantasy type Final Fantasy games, I would kind of prefer they continue speaking like this. Oh, bees. Can I attack them? Get them, get the bees. Yeah. Get 'em. This is so stupid. Okay, I'll actually deal with them for real. European style speaking adds so much soul, it really does. Okay, let's head back to the hideaway. And before I forget, let's go back to using fire only. Feel like Stranger of Paradise was a very big precursor to this game, mechanically speaking. I can kind of see it, yeah. Only things that Stranger of Paradise is more Dark Souls than it is Devil May Cry. But they do have some things in common. Although they were developed by completely different teams.
That broom's as ragged as a ghost.
I don't know if we have access to it yet. But I mentioned at the start of the stream. Or relatively close anyway. We get a new resource. From doing quests. And we only start getting this resource at this point in the game. True, we may never know. There's our guy.
Ah, Clive! Oh, I've missed that scowl.
Where's my report?
What, no kind words for your old pal?
Quite
Gav?
literally, yeah. It's good boy points.
You're after, you're fishing in the wrong barrel. Now sit down, you fool.
So, you remember how quick the Empire was to occupy the Dominion after the fall of Drake's Head? And how pissed off all the other nations were that they didn't think to do it first?
Half a century of independence gone at the whim of a madman. So much for their bloody treaty.
Clearly, the promise of unblighted land and the world's supply of crystals was too much for his radiance to resist. And now the Republic's finally decided to follow suit, using liberation as an excuse to declare war on Sambrek. Lined up right outside the Dominion's gates as we speak, looking to starve the Imperials into submission.
And now all eyes are on the Strait of Author.
Well, the two nations beat their shields. The rest sharpen their daggers, ready to set upon the war-weary victor. They'll never see us coming. It's time we moved on the mother crystals. Four mother crystals remain in storm.
Yeah,
and
we'll do
ash.
that today.
Drake's breath.
I'm
in
so
Iron
sorry.
Drake's fang in Dhalmekia. Drake's spine in Waloed. And Drake's tail here in the Crystalline Dominion.
With the bulk of the Republican army marching to Twinside, Drake's fang will be left exposed.
That is exactly the move Kupka would anticipate. And if there is anything these past 5 years have taught us, is that he loves his traps. There is one place, however, where nobody will be expecting us to go.
Drake's breath.
There's a shitload of sea between us and it, and I've never been much of a swimmer.
I have an acquaintance in Port Isolde who may be able to help.
Who's that then?
My uncle, Byron Rossfield.
Lord Byron Rossfield of the Seven High Houses, the trade magnate with holdings in over 100 cities. Wait, Rossfield. And you're a Rossfield, of course.
My uncle's name gave him his start in the world, but it was his acumen which earned him his fortune. Along with a handsome fleet of ships.
Well, it's settled then. What are we waiting for, eh? Huh?
We're not going to be able to meet him today, but I love Byron. I love him so much. He is one of the most fun characters in this entire game. I can't wait to see him again. Is the Mama Boy boss fight soon? It should be. It should be the next stage, isn't it? Sounds like a good character. When we meet Byron. Hi. Promise you guys you will love him.
I hear there's trouble in this area.
He's actually one of the best characters in the game. Exactly. But first,
Ah, yes. Our mysterious Moogle friend.
he's so fuzzy.
Was it?
I want to hold him.
I'll stick with Nectar if it's all the same to you. What seems to be the matter? The Hunt Board? It's where the Cursebreakers post sightings of particularly fearsome beasts. Those that might pose a threat to our operations if they were left to roam free. Just because they can't be dealt with when they're spotted, doesn't mean they can't be dealt with later. Was that what you wanted to know? Right. Well, leaving your mightiness aside for the moment, the people of Valisthea are going through a lot already. What with the Blight and the war, the last thing they need is ungodly fiends terrorizing them on top of everything else. So if the Cursebreakers are too busy to help, then perhaps I can. Or at least I can try.
So this is essentially the optional boss. Like list. There are a lot of these in the game. And each one that's you. Good boy points and a lot of money. As for where you spend your good boy points.
Oh, Clive. Welcome to the Patron's Whisper.
The Patron's Whisper? Does that mean someone else is taking care of our friends' donations?
Oh no, that's still me. It's just Karen has her toll, Blackthorn has his hammer. I thought a new name might liven things up. I still catalogue every item that arrives, in addition to setting aside those tokens of appreciation the sender has specified are to be presented to you personally. Would you like to see if we have any? Your benefactors are a generous lot.
So this is what the good boy points are for.
You earned this.
With each milestone you. Yeah. Different things. Some of the best items in the game actually come from this.
All done?
As well as free ability points. And you can only get those through doing side quests and completing hunts. So there's very much a reason to engage in the side content. You find it interesting. There's no real explanation for why Live can understand Muggle. If I had to guess, it's probably because he's a dominant. The only way to get the best equipment parts in the game is through that. Exactly. Oh yeah, because we have the bird. We can give the bird a new outfit. Do we want to be extra fancy or just normal fancy? How fancy do we want the bird to be? Yes. Are we back to the only fire build? Unfortunately. We don't have too much time to progress any further. Also, I'm hungry. So for now, I just want to take a moment to relax. And I should also save now that I'm thinking on it. So, next time. We should be able to make actual decent story progress. Yeah, it's already been 3 hours. Relax as you fight in the arcade mode one more time. Well, if you put it that way. That is relaxing to me.
Sid dies here! Mayflames!
Oh, that's the wrong button. I didn't mean to press that one. You're glad you were able to help. That reminds me. Okay, so. Next time we play this, and I want you guys to hold me to this. Next time we play, we are going to use a fire and ice village. Remind me to do that. Because I will forget. Fire and ice, yeah. I also need to.
How many are there? Titan sends his regards.
I need to remember not to use any style actions that are not related to the build. That's one thing that's kind of hard when you're doing a theme build. It's a lot harder to really work with that. Especially for me. Because I'm used to using everything. You know. Is that an alarm you just heard? Maybe. The alarm is for them, clearly.
Enough of this! Let him play with the kitten!
They brought a pet.
You'll pay for what you've done, Sid.
Those things are fast.
We'll have to be faster.
And not as good as the last time, but whatever. Still a good ranking though. It's still a really good ranking. Alright, with that said. Thank you all for joining me today. And entertaining the unprompted rant from before. We'll be returning to this next week. And I'm going to have some lunch. But you all. You guys, I'm looking at you. Yeah, you. You. It's Knockout's fault, precisely. But you guys. You need, and I mean you guys need, to stay foxy. Alright, goodbye everybody, goodbye. I'll see you all next week.